How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today's topic of discussion is going to be, man, dealing with people is tough. Man, dealing with people is tough. Now, when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about on those days that just aren't so good. They're not so good for you, and you done already got up out of bed wrong, and people are just rubbing you the wrong way. It makes it difficult in dealing with people, and people that are already difficult to begin with. So what's my solution to this? What do I say to this? I say that you're just as difficult, if not even more difficult, than some of the people that you complain about that are hard to deal with. So, in knowing that, knowing what you're capable of, whether you think that you're just, all roses and sunshine, you got to know your limits. You got to know on how much you're willing to invest in others, how much you're allowing yourself to be drawn into situations, how much of your time that you're allotting to these things. You got to know on basically knowing your limits. Knowing your limits on where you end and others begin. Know your shortcomings. If you're short-tempered, do you want to hang around a lot of people that are tend to be, act irrationally, quick to react to things, quick to let words fly out of their mouth without consequence? And remember, when you know your shortcomings, don't you want to play to your strengths? That's what we talk about on this channel. We talk about on this channel focusing on your strengths. All of us have weaknesses. Nobody's perfect, no matter how perfect you think that you may be. Nobody's perfect. We all have shortcomings. We have things that we deal with. We have things that we struggle with. And one of the best ways that you can effectively deal with people are to know the things that you come up short in. This will ease that topic of this video. Man, dealing with people are tough. Okay, what makes them tough to deal with? Was this just a day that you wasn't in a mood to deal with whatever it is that it came flying in your lap, landed in your lap? I know for myself, when I talk about some of these experiences on these videos, I think about altercations that I may have had. No matter, how small, it was an altercation, no matter how you size it up. But like I told you before in past videos, I always take things back to myself. And I see, what could I have done differently? Instead of pointing the finger at the other person, go, man, they wronged me, they said this, they said that. What did you say? How did you respond back? Were you even in the right frame of mind to even deal with this person? You know what they bring to the table. You know they know how to push your buttons. How did you contribute to this situation? When you're able to start answering those questions and taking an accurate self-analysis of yourself, you're able to deal with people better. That's what life is all about, learning from your experiences, learning from difficult situations so you can grow. Not so you can stop and get caught up in whatever you're caught up in at that moment and, refuse to move forward. You want to keep moving forward. You want to keep progressing. You want to keep growing. You want to keep overcoming these things. One of the key parts in overcoming things is to recognize what you need to overcome. Do you recognize whatever situation that you're in? Do you recognize who may or may not be good for you? Do you recognize these things? Are you someone who self-sabotages? Is your self-talk bad? How are you talking to yourself? That's the reason why we always take things back to self on this channel. Because if you're doing these things, you're giving other people the keys to how to treat you on these things. These are some of the topics that I talk about in my first book that I've written, Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication. That book revolves around taking it to yourself, getting mentally prepared before you're dealing with this family communication with your mother, your father, your siblings. And then you're branching out and you're dealing with other people in the world. That's the reason why I started with that book first. Because some of these people that are closest to us, know how to push our buttons. We know how to push their buttons. We know how to just rub each other the wrong way. And if you can overcome those obstacles, you can realize what those obstacles are. Those are going to be your biggest weaknesses, dealing with people in those circles, because they know you best. They know how to push your buttons best. Same thing with you. You're not perfect either. So when you get a grasp on that, of what you're bringing to the table, your attitude, you know how to maneuver and operate with these so-called difficult people, these difficult situations, then you can address what the topic of this video is. Man, dealing with people is tough. Well, what makes it so tough? How can I ease that? How can I make it a little bit more smooth sailing? Some people have short-term solutions for doing things like this, like, going with the flow or pushing their feelings aside and catering to other people. And as you know, if you've looked at any of these other videos on my channel, it only pops up to be destructive or not in your best interest down the road. Somebody gets tired of it. Somebody gets tired of giving in. So know what you're headed for going forward. Know what you're about to enter into. It's some days where I'm rubbed so wrong, I'm like, you know what? This is not even a day for me to go and go see this person. This is not even the day for me to go and take care of this. I'll do it another day because I'm just not really feeling it today. Because I know my limitations. And I don't want to bring doom and gloom to whomever I'm interacting with. I don't want to bring like this attitude, because like I've said in other videos, I like to be a breath of fresh air when I'm dealing with people. So I know what I'm bringing to the table. And I know just how long my patience is in dealing with the person that day. If I know my patience is short, I'm just like, nah, not today. Or maybe I need to communicate in a different type of way. Maybe I need to ensure that this is a very, very brief encounter, because I just don't have the patience for it today. That's all I'm saying. In the meantime, check out my other social media. Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. I've written that book, I Ain't Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication, which I'll leave a link in the description. You can get the book on Amazon in paperback or an ebook copy. It's the first in a series of communication books. Check it out. In the meantime, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. If you have questions, hit me up at my email, ain.kilimanjaro@gmail.com. I'll do my best to answer your question in a video. Okay? Till next time, you have a good one.